you to know that what's inside of you is like grandmama's dreams. So don't give up. Your time is coming.
I don't need anybody. I think a lot of times that statement is being made from the place of I don't need nobody. Right. Because it gets deeper than I don't need you in a specific situation. In a lot of cases is I don't need a man at all. Or I don't need a woman at all. Or I don't need that to complete me. Or I don't need that for this or that or this or that. And we literally treat each other like accessories. So I got all this going on. You just look good on my arm. You just look good at the house when people come over, or you just look good when we go out and I can show you off to the ladies or whatever. So that's kind of the mindset that we be in. So part of the statement is true. I don't need you, maybe, in a certain situation, because maybe you hooked up with the wrong person and you don't need them for where you're going, and y'all should have never been together in the first place. In some cases. So that statement is true. But again, I think a lot of times when that statement is true, it's coming from the place of what I'm really saying is I don't need you. I don't realize though that I don't need anybody. So if that becomes a repetitive thing where there are just certain, I'm not getting into a situation where me and this person are creating that vulnerable space, because it's very, very important for you to be able to be vulnerable with somebody you're dealing with, because that becomes a reciprocal thing. If you give me the space to be vulnerable as a man, which is very difficult for a man to allow himself to be vulnerable, because vulnerability is seen and can be in many times weakness. And I mean it is. If I go outside right now and I allow myself to be vulnerable, anything can happen to me. So the whole point is, if I have this person that's allowing me to be vulnerable, in that moment, that person is supposed to be a wall around me. And in those moments of vulnerability is where I can really release who I really am. And so we're supposed to create this culture of vulnerability between us, because that's when we start having conversations and we start being truthful about certain things that kind of cut through some of that. That man that feels like he's not getting whatever he's not getting at home also does not feel the space to be vulnerable enough to express what he's not getting. Now, am I saying that to say that that's all on the woman?
Right.
No. Because as he was saying, I like the illustration he did where he started using the water picture and the glasses. I like illustrations like that because water can be used for so much stuff. And it's always fire when even Bruce Lee said, be like water. And that's powerful, actually, because water fit into any container. It take the shape. It's meable. You can't. Anyway, the only way you can make water solid is if you freeze it. Never stop going. Anyway, that was fire, wasn't it?
That was fire. Hey, that was fire. Hey.
That's going to be playing in my head. Never stop going.
But no, he was using the picture and he was talking about being empty. Because you can't pour into somebody. Again, we talking about real men pour in. Because I think at the root of most of the issues it does start with the man. I'm a firm believer of that. And it can be for whatever many reasons, especially with our people and our culture. We got all this stuff deep rooted in where we are today. Families, the image of the black family being separated, and you can go all down through history, back to slavery and before that, where you can kind of see this thing unraveling over centuries, right? So I was talking about being vulnerable. I brought up the picture thing, and so he was saying it's hard to pour into somebody when you empty. And so he went from the glass where he wanted to take a drink, but the glass was empty. So then he went to the pitcher and realized that the pitcher was empty. So he was kind of talking about from a natural sense. In a lot of cases, men have issues with their fathers, the relationship with their fathers, what their father taught them, the presence versus the absence of their father. And that's a really important source for us to draw wisdom, understanding, learning how to deal with a woman. You know, our fathers being there and then being able to see the relationship between our parents. It's like that's so important and that's so critical. And you have so many people that are missing some piece of that, whether they didn't see their parents together or their father wasn't around. And so no, you do not just become a man and know I'm supposed to talk to a woman in this way. Or I'm supposed to find a place where I can allow myself to be vulnerable and be open about how I'm feeling here. Or you don't just turn a certain age and know how to do that.
Right.
And so it's not all on the woman. But then, as a woman, if you're not taught those certain things on dealing with a man and understanding a man, it couples with that. So I came into this not even knowing how to express myself or talk. You came into this expecting me to be able to do that.
Right.
And not knowing how to create a space for me to do it if I don't already know how to do it. And so it's just an endless cycle of it not happening.
Right.
So then if I feel like there's something that I'm not getting, I'm not telling you, maybe because I don't know how to, I feel like I can't. And so if I don't know the place where I can go to draw from, to get wisdom, to get understanding, to battle those weak moments, then I'm going to succumb to whatever that is, and I'm going to go where I can go, wherever I have to go to get that. And it don't always have to be flat out cheating, sex, and all that. It'll be conversation. You know, you might send a few messages or even be on Messenger just having conversation. It don't get too crazy. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful or wild. It's just conversation. I might go to work and whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm not getting that from you.
Wow.
And maybe I don't realize it's a need that I have that I'm not getting from you. Or a need that you're not expressing to me, and I'm not able to fix that or feel that need for you, but I still need to be able to feel that need.
Stay out my life. Stay out my life. All right, you right there. You right there.
Yeah, like
all in my business.
We deal with symptoms all the time, and we never deal with roots. We cut trees down, but we leave stumps. All the time, all through life. We cut the tree down, knock off all the branches, it looks good. Yay, he removed the tree. But that stump you left, in a few weeks, in a few months, it's going to look crazy with vines and all this stuff that's still growing because the roots are still there. We take medicine when we get sick. And it don't make the sickness go away quick because all you're doing is dealing with symptoms. We have years and years and years of dealing with symptoms. We don't talk about root causes. Most of us don't even know what the root cause is. You get a familiar runny nose, sneeze, headache. You don't know what the cause is. You just know take some NyQuil, take some Dayquil, deal with them symptoms. And really, it might have felt like it helped, but really it didn't. The sickness just ran its course. And that's why you started feeling better. You never know what the cause of that was or what you could have done
to prevent it.
Yeah.
Right.
And deal directly with the root of the problem.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Sip my
Man.
sympathy.
You was in
Man.
your bag with that one.
Man.
But it gets deep. It gets really, really deep. And so we come to relationships and one of us might be empty. Both of us might be empty. Both of us might be half full. And if you're not filled coming into a relationship, you're looking to have whatever void there is, have it filled. And if your partner is not 100% full, then you're not going to get that void filled. Or you're going to get it filled and it's going to leave them empty. We both come with two half full cups. If you pour your half into mine, I'm full, you empty. But then if I turn and I pour you half, well, that's not going to satisfy you. So then I got to fill you all the way up. Now I'm completely empty.
So since you want to decide to preach on this podcast, you need to tell people your
Lord,
cash
here we
out
go.
so they can sow a seed. Because
I'm just saying.
That's
like,
soul player. Like polished. Like, I mean, the way you just orchestrated that thing. I mean, like.
I'm just saying, man. I've listened to I've listened to a lot of people on the subject just give wisdom, And because I've been married for 4 years now. That's not 10, that's not 20, that's not 50. I'm not a marriage expert. But I have learned a lot in the 6 years that we've been together, but especially the 4 years we've been married, because I've experienced all those things that I've heard or learned. And I just get the opportunity to practice them with my wife. So I just be understanding more and more, like, man, this is deeper than what we have. Like, Barbie and Ken was just dressing alike. Like playing house at the crib. It's a lot of us didn't get prepared for some of these deeper issues that we deal with now. And so a lot of us are just now discovering that it's rooted deeper than that. And it's hard when you get to a point before you finally realize, oh, this is what the problem is. And a lot of people don't know that. So to hear Jake's talk for 2 minutes and make some of the claims that he made, that's offensive to me, because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand the root causes of blah, blah, blah. As far as I'm concerned, you're sexist. We raising women to be man. What do you mean by that? Not knowing that it came full circle because he dealt with the man too.
Right.
Like you said, he talked about a lot of that stuff comes from a place of pain. Because we have done a lot to go against our women. We have, absolutely, 100%. And well, we have, though. And like, we have. And,
right.
All right.
What you gonna say?
Look. If Holy Spirit is telling him not to say it, just let him not say it.
Nah, I feel like I'm going in, and I don't even know if I'm still on topic, so I'm taking my foot off the gas. I may have went left there.
That was good. I mean, I was with you. I didn't see you going left, but I mean, if you felt like you was going, I mean, I was with you. You know, when you going on the trip, you going down the road, and it winds like this. You still on course. You wind it a little bit, but you're still on course.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely we do both, actually, because we raise women to be men. And in all these single mother homes, father's not around and not having the village and not having full influence, we raising men to be women. Because there is no planet that exists in any of the millions of galaxies that exist where a woman can effectively teach a man to be a man. And vice versa. And vice versa. But also, a hurt man can't teach no man how to be a man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A bruised and abused woman makes it very difficult for her to teach her daughter how to be a woman fully and completely, and she has not healed
so
from the wounds of life.
Your mama pouring into you, but she pouring pain into you. Yeah. It ain't nothing positive.
It's some murky stuff in that water.
Right, yeah. She pouring that flint in you.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
Why you do that? It was so, I tried. I'm like, don't, leave it. I was like, Flint, though, that's crazy. But yeah, it's some murky stuff in that water. It's some debris. It's some floaties in that water.
Some lead in that water.
You filled me, but now I got to go through a purification process.
Right.
This water got to be cleansed and filtered.
Your picture need a Brita.
For real though, like we do both, and and society continues to change. So this is already years in the making to get to this point. And so now, here we go, I'm way deeper. So now you have all these agendas that get rolled out that further encourage where we are. Mm-hmm. So now we gonna debate what is a woman. we gonna debate what is that, what's the definition, what are the terms of that. We're gonna debate what's masculine and what's not masculine. We're gonna encourage you to be whoever you want to be. And now we're just completely breaking the parameters off of what was intended for this thing to look like. Mm-hmm. And it's socially acceptable. So you better not say nothing in disagreement with this, or we're gonna label you something. Even though we don't want to be labeled nothing, we're going to label you something so that we can cancel you and shut you up. So you got all this stuff, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm trying to be politically correct. Maybe I'm tap dancing. I don't know, but I think you know what I'm talking. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's on TV now, and it's in all these different places.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not about nobody not deserving love. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It got to do with the things that's in place that's tearing down families. That's ending, that's dissolving families. I'm going to wipe out the man in the role of the man. I'm going to put him and the woman against each other. So he already was kind of phasing out anyway through all the stuff that's happened throughout history. Buck breaking during slavery. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And all these other different things that happened throughout history, I'm going to phase him out. All these wars and all this stuff that happened where he was out fighting and nobody was there to work the warehouses and all that. So the woman had to go to work, and now the man comes home and, well, his value was decreased a little bit more because she's making more money than you. You wasn't making no money over there in the wars. All these different historical things that had taken place, and all the while spiritual things that was being sown in there to seal the deal. So it's not even necessarily an unintentional thing that we doing. It's intentional.
Right.
It's intentional. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what's at stake here. We losing families, we losing children, we got all this chaos and all this stuff in all these different places that if we restored some of the stuff that people want so hard-heartedly to dissolve and completely do away with, we could save a lot of stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. Well, how do I want to say that? Simply put, my wife and I agree on a lot of things. We disagree on a lot of things. But one thing we understand is we going to do whatever it takes to make this work with us. Because these children, they need what we both can pour into them. And that needs to come from a place of being healed, delivered, right? Breakthroughs from all this baggage and all these things that we just been dealing with, symptoms and not the root cause, so that they don't have to fall prey to everything that's out there. They not gonna have an excuse. If they make the choice, they make the choice. But we set solid foundation. That means I gotta keep growing and I gotta keep learning as a man, because I cannot expect my wife to follow my lead if we're not going nowhere. Which then my wife reciprocates that because she wants to keep growing and keep learning. Because she wants to know exactly not only how does she fit in this. I started saying this when I was talking about what you bring to the table, and I was talking about how the man is going somewhere, and what he's essentially asking the woman is, do you see yourself being a part of this? But at the same time, you mentioned this, the woman has different visions of different things of what she wants to happen in her life as well. So whatever you see him, y'all should be able to see how it complements. So I'm not saying what I said earlier to say that this is the dominant, this is what we doing, and everything you do supposed to fall in line with here. But if you have things too. Y'all got dreams, y'all got goals, y'all got stuff you want to accomplish, right? So it should complement. If you are really my person and you are who God made for me, it should complement. What you want to do, what I want to do. And it falls under the umbrella. But yeah, that's what I 100% agree with what he's saying. And when you look at our society and you look at things that's going on, it's just a lot of stuff that supports that and makes it go even further. It's a lot of stuff he didn't cover in that 2 minutes. Yeah.
Cause that was dope. So, we out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
That what's inside of you is like grandmama's greens. So don't give up. Your time is coming.